Like the video and subscribe right now, or this doggo will eat video games. Ready? 3, 2, 1. My daughter was born in January of this year. I'm done playing games. Me and my daughter are a package deal. I'm ready to settle down. Just so you guys know, I just had a baby month and a half ago. I live with my baby daddy and I have herpes. If that doesn't bother you, then let's talk. A guy asked me out last week and I told him no. I wanted him to try harder. Why didn't he try again? This is slogan. This year, we don't beg anyone. You are either into it or now we move. My girlfriend said she doesn't date attractive guys. What does she mean by that? Last night my 27M girlfriend 26F was on a video call with some friends while I was off doing my own thing in another room. On my way back from the bathroom, I overheard her say something along the lines of "That's why I don't date attractive guys." It made me do a bit of a double take, so I couldn't help but eavesdrop for a minute to get a bit more context. From what I gathered, one of her friends had been dumped or cheated on by a guy. My girlfriend went on to explain that in her experience, attractive guys get too much attention from other women. They are more likely to cheat. She just rather not deal with that. She then said, "Don't get me wrong, some of the best Shreks I ever had was with hot guys. They're great for when you want some good dick, but they are not good relationship material." I decided I heard enough and left around that point. It's been really bothering me ever since and making me feel insecure about my relationship with her. I feel like she's not attracted to me and only with me because she feels like I'm a safe guy. I've been told that I'm a good looking guy by many of my friends, so I don't know what she means. I kind of feel guilty for eavesdropping, and part of me wishes that I never heard it, but part of me is also glad I learned about this. Am I right to feel insecure about this? What does she mean, and what should I do? Any and all help is appreciated, thank you. DA wish they'd settled earlier. I was always told don't settle, work on yourself, wait for the right person, but now dating past 30 I wish I'd settled for someone decent if not perfect, cause no one is. Anyone else feel like they missed their chance or should have been less picky in their 20s? Found out wife, 28F, of 14 years cheated a couple years ago on vacation. How do I handle things from here? We've been together since we were 14, got married at 23, and have been married for 5 years. We celebrated our 5th wedding anniversary in June. Recently we'd been discussing kids, and a couple nights back we were drinking a bit, and the topic ended up on pregnancy scares. We had a couple of those back in college, and then my wife drunkenly mentioned the one in 2017, which sobered me up real fast, since the last time we had one was 2012, when we were both 21. I was like, "What do you mean 2017? And she got this weird expression on her face before trying to play it off like it was a drunken slip of the tongue. But I've been with her since we were 14. I know when something's up with her, and I said, "No, you're lying. Tell me, what the duck do you mean about a scare in 2017? She tried playing it off again and leaving, and at this point my mind was running away from me, so I grabbed her hand and said, "Tell me what the hell you're talking about." Then she just breaks down and starts crying as if her parents just died. She told me in 2017, when she took a holiday with her 2 friends, they met some guys and partied with them a few days before the trip ended. It was 10 days long and this would have been day 6. They went to the guy's place to continue hanging out, and her friends had Shreks with a couple of them. She said she stayed drinking a bit with another and had been firm about being married. However, the dude was handsome and charming and persuaded her to have some fun. He pointed out she was thousands of miles away from her husband. He'd, me, never know, and this might be her chance to have Shreks with someone else other than the one guy she'd only ever slept with. She said she resisted at first, but at some point didn't think of me or us and just went with it. She slept with him twice that night, then a few more times over the remaining days of the trip. Her friends didn't ask or say anything, and she said she felt guilty, but did it anyway. On the last day of the trip, her friends and her were back at the hotel when one of them said, "Don't worry, we won't say anything. What happens here stays here." and she just broke down crying over there. According to her, she felt like it was a full-on mental breakdown. They comforted her and said they'd support her, but she made her decision to have Shreks with the guy multiple times. She said she felt like such a piece of shit, and before she came home she called me and said she'd get a ride to her mother's, where she'd be for a few weeks. She got tested during this time period and debated over what to do. She wanted to tell me, but didn't want to lose me, and so resolved to put it in the past and just be a better faithful wife from then on. Since then she hung out with those women a lot less, and I'll admit she seemed to try very hard to be a good wife and lover. After she came home, I thought she just missed me a lot, but now I know she was overcompensating, which led to the other night. I feel like my mind is just in a daze. I paced around the parking lot for like an hour at work, and my boss even asked if everything was okay and told me to head home if I wanted. She's been trying to speak to me, crying a lot. I hate that she's acting as if she's the one hurt by my ignoring her right now. She's been promising she'll always be a great wife, but the fact is that she ducked another man multiple times, and if not for a stupid conversation coming up while drinking, I'd never know. Then there's the part of me wondering if she ever cheated before, if there were ever other scares with guys. What did she really do all the times she hung out with friends? Suddenly I'm questioning most of 14 years together. I'm a loss as to what I should do here. I still madly love her, but suddenly the sight of her makes me want to punch something, or just grab her and scream in her face till my voice stops working. I hate that I feel like this. Mother of two handsome boys. Looking for my corrupted cop. Looking for someone who's gonna spoil me and take me and my kids out to eat every paycheck you get. If you're someone's baby daddy, please leave me alone. If you white, hit me up. White is always right. I can't find him. How? I'm trying to figure out who the father is, cause it was a gangbang. Have you tried asking them who nutted in you? They all ducking did. Look for the richest guy and pin it on him. All their asses are broke. You made broke guys gangbang you? They looked rich. 126 men have nutted in me prior to my relationship, and my man still loves me for me. A king. He just broke up with me, all one. I broke my marriage. Can somebody suggest me what to do? Suggested to post here, because on other subs there is no real advice being given. Might be long post. I'm a wreck right now and don't know what to do. Me, 40, F, and my husband, 39, M, married young and were each other's first. We have been married for nearly 18 years. We have 2 children, 19, F, 18, M, and both of them have moved out and are living their life. Due to it, I lost my job in February and got a new one in August. During this time, my husband had to do more work so that his job must be secured. So he was more distant due to his job. In my new job, I developed a crush on one of the young guy, 25, M, and started feeling excited. Nothing was wrong in our marriage, and I still don't know why I had those feelings for that guy. I might be insecure in myself. I started arguing with my husband for no reason and blamed him for everything wrong. At that time I thought of everything possible to be upset with my husband. As in our country, restrictions on Ovid were removed in late August, so I started going out with my friends. I also started flirting with the young boy. In early September, I suggested open marriage to spice up our relationship. I told him that I wanted to have fun and suggested him to do the same. I told him that our 20s and 30s went by just looking upon kids and now we should enjoy ourselves. He was completely against it. He said that marriage is not a joke and is special bond between two. At that time, I was having different mindset and told him how he had to change with new lifestyle and how old-fashioned he is. He was still against it. So I started manipulating him and threatened to divorce. He finally agreed to open our relationship. For first month, I hooked up with that guy and had several one-night stands. My husband also started dating, but never slept with anyone. In October, I started realizing that most men never took care of my needs and pleasure. My husband was the only one who took care of my needs. The idea of sleeping with other men was short-lived, and I stopped it. I started having Shreks with my husband again and felt great. We were still dating other people. He was dating his high school friend and also had several Shrekshell encounters with her after a month of dating. I started feeling jealous because of him dating her. In mid-November, I suggested to once again close our marriage and be monogamous. He was adamant that he would not do it. We had lots of fight. We argued a lot, but he didn't change his decision. He was still going over to her house and spending nights over there. This situation was like a torture to me. I had to spend night alone in our marital home, on our marital bed, knowing that he was with other women and was entertaining her. On the 28th of November I tried to commit suicide because the emotional trauma was exceeding its limits. I was rushed to hospital by my husband and this led to change his decision. He now agreed to close our marriage again. I was a bit relieved. I thought we would recover pretty quickly from this phase of life. But hell, I was wrong. He still thought about her. He even bought her a gift for her birthday. He wanted to go to her house to give her the present. But I agreed to let him go to her house on the condition that I would be going with him. We arrived at her house. Her house was pretty big and looked really expensive. We arrived at the door and she opened the gate. She took the gift and gave a hug to my husband in front of me. I got pissed and wanted to leave. She invited us for drinks, but I refused and we came back home. Last night, when we were having Shreks and he was just about to climax, he finished off while saying her name. I was pissed about it. I felt humiliated and was angry that he was thinking about her during Shreks also. He was also sorry for this, but said that he is still confused regarding her. He ended up sleeping on couch. This morning, he said that he cannot live like this. He wanted some space from me and that he would be moving out for some days to clear his mind. I agreed to it because I had no other option. In afternoon, my friend sent me a pic of him at her house. She lives nearby and saw him at her door. I was devastated and called him. He answered and told me that we were on break so we could see other people. It's been 5 hours and I'm a wreck right now. He is not able to forget her and it's ruining our relationship. I know that I already destroyed most of the marriage, but now I'm going to do anything to fix it. I have written everything and basically so that you can give me some advice. I literally don't know what I'm writing and seeking from writing here, but I cannot share this with our children. I have realized how much he loved me unconditionally, and I don't want to throw away our 20 years together. Any advice on how to make him change his decision? Am I really hurtling towards middle age at 35? Awamadoi. Men's fixation on young women is another sign of masculinity in crisis. Awamadoi. Short guys swipe left. A man under 6 feet is not a real man. Sorry, not sorry. Smoker? Swipe left. 420 friendly? Pass. Make under $100,000. Not interested. Sorry, but I have to be direct and I know my worth. Looking for a man, not a boy. I told Austin I was sad over a boy and he took me out and got me food and bowling. Someone better cuff him. He'll treat you right, he deserves the best. Moment of silence for our brother Austin. Please help me. Guy I'm dating received old videos of me giving someone oral Shreks. Been dating a guy, 26, now for 3 months. He is honestly such a gentleman. And we spend lots of time together in person and over text/call. Recently someone anonymously sent him a video of me giving oral Shreks to a guy I had met at a lounge. I know it was awful that I did that within 45 minutes of knowing him, but I was in a dark place at the time and I needed some healing. This guy in the question ended up being my FWB for a year or so. In the video I say some really dumb stuff like once you go black you never go back, just some dumb stuff honestly. And he finished in my mouth. Someone sent this to my ex and I have no freaking idea who. I reached out to my former FWB and he said he had no idea as he is in a relationship now and his face couldn't be seen in the video. Anyways, the guy I have been seeing really got pissed and accused me of using him for time and money and withholding Shreks for 3 months, which by the way is false. I'm just not comfortable having Shreks so soon without a commitment. We have kissed, however. I need to know who filmed this video and how to convince the guy I'm dating that this is a completely different version of me. I have grown as a lady since then. Thoughts please. Featured comment. Zeri Martirez. Sleeps at 3 am. Seeing a man in the closet. It was a hoodie. Realize that you don't have a hoodie. If you want to be featured in the next video, use hashtag dankness. Unapologetically, my list for many's. 1. Must have completed and graduated with a bachelor's degree or higher at least 1 year ago. I just ghosted a man after finding out he graduated December with his master's degree. 2. Must make $100,000 or more, either with a job or via a business. No exceptions. 3. Must be 6 feet 1 or taller. No exceptions. 4. If there is an age gap, it must be no greater than 5 years. No exceptions. 5. He must have a completely intact hairline and all of his teeth. No exceptions. 6. He must work out regularly and have a visible six-pack. I will not date fat guys. 7. He must be free of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. No exceptions. 8. He must be childless at the time of matching. No exceptions. 9. He must have never ever participated in the armed forces or the related fields. I swipe left on all veterans. I ghost, block, and delete any man I match with that later reveals that he has served in the armed at any capacity. Same applies for cops, firefighters, EMTs, guards, or the related professions. Same for the relevant departments. FBI, CIA, DHS, DOS, etc. etc. There are no exceptions to this. If he served for even 1 minute, he's ghosted. 10. He must not have access to firearms or weapons. I see a gun in his profile. I swipe left. If we matched and he later reveals that he hunts or shoots for sport, I block, ignore, ghost, and delete him. No exceptions. 11. No misogynistic men. Men who use insult language in their profiles or low effort profiles. 12. He must be within 15 miles of where I live or there is no deal. I'm not waiting more than 10 minutes for a man to pick me up. Some exceptions. 13. He must not be religious. I'm not giving up my Sundays or eating any weird shit or sacrificing anything to any god or traveling on a pilgrimage anywhere or doing any weird ritualistic shit ever. No exceptions. 14. He must be handsome. No exceptions. I'm not dating for marriage, I'm dating so I can manipulate someone into living with me and paying half my rent. Men, described by me, they're worthless creatures that exist to tell me how Shreksy I am and wish they could have me. They want to empty their wallets to help make my life easier. Seriously, I can't pay rent. I'm $200 short. Go sub my OnlyFans to help a lil, or you can also tip me a lot there. I finally got on my own and Rona ducked me, hoping I feel better soon and can go back to work. Till then I'm on OnlyFans for you. Jobless women selling nudes on OnlyFans are struggling to pay bills. OnlyFans, a social media platform that allows people to sell explicit photos of themselves, has boomed during the pandemic. But competition on the site means many won't earn much. I'm also proficient in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. That's good and all, but is this you? Sorry you didn't get the job. Nice rack though. What are some of your deal breakers that have developed as you've gotten older? My number one is definitely if she has kids. Tried dating a single mom once for a couple of months and I'll never do that again. Number 2 is quickly becoming snoring. I used to think it was kinda funny when I was younger, but now that I have to be up at 5:30 for work, snoring is not the least bit funny. Disclaimer, I mean normal types of stuff like these, not abuse etc. I started reading this thread and getting a little butthurt because I'm a single mom, but then I remembered that I'm a ducking catch, and if someone doesn't like me because I have 2 tiny amazing humans, then it's their loss. She never would have given you a chance when she was 20. When her skin was clearest, her social life was the most robust, she was in her best physical shape, and when her youthful energy was at her peak, she wasn't into you. So what? Don't get caught up in that. Grow up. People mature. She's approaching her 30s now. She's more mature. Her worldview is different. Her priorities are different. Looks don't matter as much now. Her height preferences have relaxed. Before you had to be 6 feet 2 plus to date her. Now she just wants a man to be her height or taller. Her self-esteem is higher. Before she would sleep with a man she just met. Now, she requires several high-effort dates and impeccable charisma and commitment on the guy's part before any physical contact is initiated. Her skin isn't as clear and her body isn't as fit as it used to be. So what? The stress from her work has consumed her. She has a great job, makes great money, and is a total catch. The past is the past. Learn to let it go. She's ready to settle down now, and she wants a nice stable guy which happens to be you. Embrace the present and leave the past in the rearview mirror. Do you have your own spot, car, and job? Sorry for the interrogation lol, I'm just not into dating losers, I'm sure you can understand. I definitely understand, and absolutely I bought a house a while back, my dad helped me out a lot, but yeah I have a house, I have a full-time job and 2 cars lol, one for strictly work, one for pleasure. Sounds like you got it going for you. Thanks love. So how about you? How about me? What? Car, crib, job? Why would I need one? That's why I'm looking for a man to take care of me and my kids. Men are providers. Didn't your mom ever teach you? I live with my mom, I get child support and no car yet. Problem? I, 35, F, want to date a man, 35, M, exclusively but not sure how to proceed. I, 35, F, have been dating a man, 35, M, who we will call A for about 2 years, and I'm wanting to date him exclusively now. He is really an amazing and really kind person who is also extremely hardworking, and I honestly can see myself married to this man. I do have a problem from past relationships going south and ending when Shrek has been added, so I have a FWB arrangement with another man, 37, M, who we will call B. Now I'm not interested in having a relationship with B, but I'm not sure how to proceed with A. Should I tell him about the FWB arrangement, or should I just keep it secret? I have been leaning towards keeping it secret, since what he doesn't know won't hurt him. I really want to make this relationship with A work, so again I'm not interested in an open relationship of any sort, as those don't work out. I want to eventually marry A, so I have to keep this arrangement going. But how do I proceed? I need advice here. I'm not interested in moral judgments whatsoever. So you have been dating A for 2 years, and no exclusive talk. That's a long time that's gone by. Is there a reason why you have not had this talk sooner? Also, are you getting physical with A as well? No, I haven't had Shreks with A. I don't want to because I value the relationship I have with A deeply, and I in the past relationships adding Shreks always ended the relationship. He has been wanting to have Shreks, but I have been successful in pushing it off. How have you managed to push that off A for 2 years? Any chances A is getting it elsewhere? If so, do you care? Anyway, if you want something with A long-term / exclusive, then have a talk with him. I'm not sure what else you got to do at this point, but if he agrees to it, you best be honest with A about what you had going on with B. You can't keep that a secret. Will it ruin your chance with A? Maybe. He hasn't been getting it anywhere. He has been pushing for Shreks, but I keep giving different reasons and he listens. I do care. I'm not interested in an open relationship. The thing is, I want to keep this FWB with B. I do not want to risk ending my relationship with A by introducing Shreks. No more single moms for me. Broke up with my girlfriend this morning. I'm 29. She's 25 with a 7-year-old son. Just couldn't do it anymore. Had started dating since the beginning of the year and the kid was a burden every step of the way. His dad isn't in the picture, so all he has is his mom. I get it. But everything we did, and I mean everything, revolved around the kid. Date nights of just us two had to be planned a month ahead. Outings were pretty much always us three. We were intimate once when we had one weekend outing while the kid stayed with grandma, and even in those 24 hours I remember the kid called his mom every 3 hours and had multiple tantrums. The kid is adorable, and I initially really liked him and honestly wanted to make it work. But as time went on, I realized the kid was only lovable if everything was centered around him and his needs. The breaking point was our outing yesterday. The three of us went to a park, not much else to do, and had a lunch. The kid interrupted us every 5 minutes, literally timed it at some point, and overall was clingy to his mom, which is always the case. We can never display affection around him except for holding hands, and even then he's literally gotten in the middle of us, so we can't do that. I got him a toy from a store before heading home, and we got in a drive-thru to get coffee. The kid starts yelling he's bored and starts hitting the window. I tell him sternly not to do that. We were in my car, and a minute later my girlfriend, annoyed, told me to not get mad at him because he didn't know really. We get to her apartment and the kid sits on the couch and puts on Hulu. I'm talking to my girlfriend in the kitchen, and he tells us to be quiet because he's watching a movie. She moves us to the bathroom to show me what the plumber did, and as soon as we get in there we start making out. I stop and ask her, why are we making out in your bathroom? Can't you tell him to go to his room for a bit? And she replies he's already watching TV and we won't be able to get him off it. And I already know from experience we can't go into her bedroom because he barges in and starts nagging his mom for attention. At that moment I had the realization that if I continue with this relationship, I would be at the mercy of a 7-year-old boy and whatever he wants. So I excused myself a few minutes later, and this morning her and I met up for coffee and I ended the relationship. Kid was in school. I was told I was being selfish and that as a single mom she was always going to put her kid first, and I knew what I was signing up for. For the record, I've dated single moms and the kid was never this much of a problem. I didn't want to argue and just said sure, I guess I'm a selfish person, but I'm not going to let a kid dictate what we can and cannot do in an adult relationship. And I left. She posted later on social media that all men are the same, grown. Literally every negative thing attached to single moms applied to my case. 1. Kid always comes first, and she has no problem telling me that. 2. Because I'm not the father, it is not my place to tell the kid what to do, but he can tell me to be quiet. 3. On the flip side of that, I can spend money on him though, and he already told me what I could get him for Christmas. 4. It's not even the kid's fault. She lets him do whatever he wants. And the excuse is always he doesn't have a dad. Okay, so the world has to give him a pass for that. I'll tell you one thing, that kid isn't getting a dad anytime soon. Anyone considering dating a single mom, definitely take what happened to me in consideration. I know everyone's different, and I can honestly say I gave it a shot, but I don't see myself dating a single mom again. The day all men united to laugh as one. Since she deleted it, here it is. TLDR, before my vacation I, F, 24, asked my boyfriend, M, 25, to open our relationship temporarily. Now he's regularly having Shreks with some girl in our apartment and I'm heartbroken. I'm pretty ducking upset right now. I'm going to do my best to explain everything that's happened. I've had an extended holiday, 3 months, planned with my best friend, Tori, 4 years. We have always talked about it and my boyfriend, Daniel, knew we were going to do it. She finally finished college this December, and we put our plan into action. Another friend, Michelle, went on a similar trip years ago. She and her friend both had long-term boyfriends at the time, and they both ended up cheating on the trip. A while later their friendship fell apart, and they both revealed each other's infidelity. It got ugly. Michelle and her boyfriend broke up. Her ex-friend stayed with her boyfriend, but from the sounds of it their relationship was severely damaged. At first I thought they were absolutely horrible for doing it, but after talking to her I could see their side of things. Months of no Shrektional contact / release. Being in a party atmosphere, of course there would be temptation. She's young, attractive and gets lots of male attention. The encounter was purely Shrektional. She was drunk, and they used protection. The next day the boy was out of her life completely, and that was it. I vehemently disagreed with doing all this behind her boyfriend's back though. Talking with Michelle about a month ago, she asked what I'm going to do about Daniel. I honestly hadn't thought about it like that. I felt like I could easily go 3 months without having Shreks, and I'd never want to betray Daniel's trust. But Michelle made a good case for opening our relationship while I was away. She said, paraphrasing, "Of course you love Daniel, but traveling is about experiencing new things, and that includes Shreks. You'll say it won't happen now, but you just have to trust me that once you're there you'll feel different. Daniel is going to wonder either way. If you're ducking other guys on your trip, just be upfront with him and see what he says. And so that night I talked to him about it. I explained that I wasn't going to be looking to duck every guy I see that I'm attracted to, and that my love for him was as strong as ever, but I also wanted to be able to act freely and party like other girls my age. It was more contingency if anything. I don't plan on ducking other guys, but if it happens it happens. A night of partying half the world away with people I'll never see again shouldn't ruin what we had here. I'd insist on using protection. And of course he would have the same opportunity as me. He would be able to freely see girls if he chose to. He wasn't happy, but said he understood. He said, "You've tied my hands. If I tell you I forbid it, I'll still be worried. If you're being true to your word by expressing that this is what you want, there's nothing I can do to stop you." Daniel's a bit of a homebody. He goes out with his friends on occasion, but most nights he spends in our apartment playing video games or watching Netflix. Given his lifestyle, I wasn't overly worried he'd be hooking up with all these random girls. Me and Tori left on February 17th. It's been eye-opening and a ton of fun, but it's also been stressful. We haven't done any partying. We talked to some guys one night but nothing came of it. Tonight I checked my email at an internet cafe and there was a message from Kay, a sweet old lady who lives above us in our apartment complex. I have debated for days whether to send this to you and potentially ruin your vacation, but you deserve to know the truth. Daniel has been seeing another woman since you left. There is no doubt that he is seeing her. She has come over most nights and I have heard them being intimate. You deserve so much better. I'm so sorry. I thought I could handle this open relationship arrangement. I can't. This message shattered my heart into a million pieces. This isn't what I intended at all. I wanted the freedom to act in the moment. He is taking this as a free pass to regularly duck some girl. And I have a feeling I know exactly who it is. A girl from his work who was always overly flirty with him. I regret ever taking Michelle's advice and opening my stupid mouth. I don't want him to duck other girls. I don't want to duck other guys. I want this slut out of my apartment now. I'm a ducking wreck and need other women's opinions. Tori has been so unhelpful, basically telling me to grow up and that I got what I asked for. No shit. People aren't allowed to change their minds or regret their decisions. How do I go about contacting him and expressing that this needs to stop now without coming across like a crazy hypocritical bitch? And let him know that I will be 100% faithful on my trip. I don't even know how I'm going to look at him when I get home. I'm beyond hurt. This feels so wrong and so sick. I'm going to bed now to try and get some sleep. I will check and respond to all comments tomorrow morning. Thank you. Guys, seriously stop it. I know I ducked up. I brought it all on myself. Kicking me while I'm down isn't helping. I'm not asking for your opinion on my stupid selfish decision. I'm asking the best way to approach this and fix it. Tori says I should email him saying what I said before about opening our relationship was a mistake. I haven't slept with anyone here and I don't want to. You're my partner and I don't want to compromise what we have. Please be faithful as I will be to you. I love you. Simply don't tell him about Kay's email or that I know there's another woman. Thoughts? You've been visited by the Toad of Peace. You will be blessed with peace and harmony, but only if you comment. Peace to you too, Froggy.